What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast weekly real estate tip. And today I'm here to talk to you about how to stop overcomplicating things inside your real estate business, how to stop chasing those shiny objects. Look, creating success in our real estate businesses as a real estate professional, I don't care what level that you're at, whether you're a brand new real estate agent, seasoned agent, individual agent, real estate team leader, real estate brokerage owner, it's all the same, right? Meaning that the path to creating success is all about mastering the fundamentals inside of this industry. And look, the reality is this, is it takes work. There is no easy button, but there is an easier and quicker way. And that easier, quicker way is knowing exactly what to hone in, what to dial in, what to master. So this way you are not wasting your time. You are not wasting your focus. You are not getting distracted with all of the BS and all of the time wasters and all the crap that doesn't master. That doesn't matter. So all comes down to knowing and understanding what the core fundamentals are that you need to allocate your time, energy, focus to and towards that are going to move the needle forward and allow you to create success inside your real estate business. And there are 11 overall fundamentals that I'm going to cover with you here today. And this is just what I've learned in my 20 years of being in the industry at a high level, becoming one of the top realtors and team leaders on the planet with selling well over 7,000 homes. These are the 11 things that I've learned on my success journey that matter the most, that we need to make sure that we truly dial in and that we truly master. So it's not just enough to know these and understand these. We got to know them. We got to understand them. We got to focus on them. We got to get them dialed in and truly master these things and our ability to execute on these things on an effective level inside of our real estate businesses. And he or she that does that at the highest level and masters these and executes on these 11 things at the highest level is going to be the one that wins at the biggest level. So I want to break these down. I'm going to do a deep dive into each of these 11 things. I'm going to go through all the 11 things and then just go through some top tips of each of these because I want to make sure that you understand them and what they mean. But real quick, before I jump into these 11 fundamentals, I highly encourage you to check out gsdmode.com for more additional free resources and more additional free training. And on there, I recommend that you schedule my 100% free Zoom coaching call with me personally. It's going to be a 60-minute Zoom coaching call with you and I. Look, it's 100% free. There are no strings attached. It is going to be a 60-minute breakdown of us discussing you and your business, where your business is currently at, what your 12-month goals are, what your long-term goals, dreams, and visions is for you and your real estate business, what your biggest obstacles are, what your current situation is. And based on your own unique situation, I'm then going to map out what my recommended blueprint strategy is to get you from where you're at to where you want to go in the most effective, efficient, profitable manner possible. And I can promise you this, you will not leave this free Zoom coaching call without knowing exactly what you must do to get from where you're at to where you want to go. We're going to eliminate all elements of guesswork. So if you want to do that, again, go to gsdmode.com. You will see a top banner on there. Also on there, I've got my free 3-hour masterclass, 6 steps to 3xing your real estate business. You can also learn more about my coaching program. There's also a link on there where you can learn more about partnering with me at EXP. That's something that you have interest in. Okay, so enough on that. Let's jump into these 11 fundamentals that you must know, that you must dial in, and that you must master. Okay, the first thing is your ability to proper goal set and proper business plan. So recommendations here is most people just goal set with kind of a narrow focus. They're short-minded. They're only thinking of the immediate. And that is a mistake. I unfortunately made that mistake. And it was one of the biggest mistakes I made early on in my career. My recommendation here is make sure that you're playing the long game, thinking about, what do I want to create for my overall life, right? Because if we look at why does the next 12 months of your life and your business exist? To get you one step closer to making your ultimate life a reality, to creating that ultimate life that you want to go out there and create for you and your family. So the more clarity that you can get on those long-term goals that you want to create for you, your family, your business, so forth, think of the full picture. So what do I want to be long-term? So for me, I reverse engineer this all the way down to my deathbed. When I'm on my deathbed, and I'm playing back the tapes when it's too late to go back and change anything. And I'm reflecting and playing back the tapes on what I did with this gift called life that God blessed me with. Look, did I piss it away or did I do something amazing, epic with it? How must that reflection conversation in my own mind must go in order for me to classify this life and win? So I get clarity to that level. Then from there, that makes it very easy then for me to get clarity on, okay, what do I need to accomplish in each aspect of my life, not just my business, but in each aspect of my life over the next 12 months to get me one step closer to creating the ultimate life that I want to go out there and create for myself and for my family. So, okay, we got to have our ability to dial in and to master our ability to go out there and proper goal set as well as business plan. So what is our business plan then? Our business plan is, okay, like what are the main KPIs? What are the main targets that we need to hit to make sure that we are on track and that we are hitting our overall business goals? And my recommendation with your business plan is to know with precision on an annual basis, down to a monthly basis, down to a weekly basis, down to a daily basis, like meaning that, okay, based on how, like, okay, how much money do I want to make? Well, then how many closings do I need to close? Okay, well, then how much energy and effort is it going to make to have those closings? So I know this all the way down to, okay, like how many leads do I need to generate? How many reach outs do I need to do? How many conversations must I have? How many appointments must I set? How many appointments must I conduct? How many clients do I need to have? How many closings? And again, not just on a yearly basis, but then on a monthly basis, then on a weekly basis, all the way down to a daily basis. This way I know and my agents know exactly what they need to do to win each and every single day. Because look, if you want to win life, you got to win the years. If you want to win the years, you got to win the months. You want to win the months, you got to win the weeks. You want to win the weeks, you got to win the days. It all boils down to winning the days. And this allows me then to live my day or to live my life in like 24-hour increments. So, okay, let's just say I sleep 8 hours. Then I live my life in 16-hour blocks. It's like, hey, here's what I got to do with the next 16 hours of that I'm awake to make sure that I'm winning. And all I got to do is execute on this next 16 hours, make sure I'm hitting the numbers that I got to hit to win. Then I got to go to bed. Then I got to repeat, right? So you got to make sure you're honing and dialing this stuff in with precision if you're serious about winning. And this is what I mean by dialing in and mastering. You know that you've dialed this in and you've mastered when you're able to effectively goal set and effectively business plan with precision where you and your agents know what you got to do to win every single day. Okay, then the next fundamental is your ability to strategy plan effectively. What is the difference between a business plan and a strategy plan? My business plan is going to be the main numbers that I hit. Like I just talked about, hey, how many closings? What's the income goal? How many closings? How many total leads? How many appointments set? So forth. My strategy plan is, okay, what is my lead generation plan and lead follow-up plan to acquire new customers? So exactly precisely what am I going to do from a client acquisition standpoint? So let's just say I'm at, I don't know, maybe your goals are at 50 closings and you want to scale that up to 100 closings. Okay, well, what exactly are you going to do every single day, every single week, every single month to go out there and acquire those 50 additional customers, right? Because you're already closing 50. So what you've been doing got you to your 50. Now you want to double and you want to go to 100 closings. Okay, what are you going to do for these? Are you able to scale up what you're currently doing? Or do you need to add new client acquisition strategies, to that? So when we're talking about strategy plan, a mistake that I see so many make inside of our industry is they focus just on lead gen, but they don't put enough emphasis on that lead follow-up. Look, one doesn't exist without the other. It's kind of like if I want to get in great shape, now all I'm going to do is focusing on the working out, but then I'm just stuffing my face with donuts all damn day. Like it's not really that plan is not going to work out, right? It takes the activity plus the diet, right? So I look at, lead gen is like the workout. It's kind of the more fun, the easier part to do. The lead follow-up is like the meal prep and diet that nobody likes to do. That's more of a pain in the ass, but really is the more important component of of that. So we got to make sure that you not only know, okay, what exactly precisely am I going to do to generate the amount of leads that I need, but then equally, if not more importantly, is what is my exact follow-up strategy? So how am I reaching out? How frequent am I reaching out? What exactly am I saying and which mediums? What frequency to maximize on the conversions. And this is something, again, you got to dial in, you got to master. You need to become a master at client acquisition. You got to become a master at your ability to acquire more customers than you can handle. And this is really, even though it's part of these 11 fundamentals, but it's, fundamental number one. that we need to hone in and we need to master inside this real estate business. Unfortunately, most that I talk to that have been in this industry 20 years, 30 years, haven't even mastered this one first thing that they should have mastered in their first, at least their first 12 months, if not their first month, right? Okay, so item number 3 here that you must master, fundamental number 3, is your ability to dial in and master scheduling and time management. Look, this becomes imperative. And this is the one thing on my 20-year journey that it's been ongoing, right? Because you hit this level and then your time gets bogged down and then you got to restructure it. Like it's an ongoing thing. At no point in time do you just get this thing. Like it's always a work in progress, because then you get to the next level. Right. Then you gotta start working on it again. You get to the next level, hit another capacity, and then you got to work on it more. Like it's always been this ongoing thing. So you got to make sure that you dial in and master your ability to create your master schedule and to manage your own time, to know what to say yes to, what to say no to. And I know I'm saying time management, but at the end of the day, there is no such thing as time management. You can't manage the fact that there's 24 hours a day, 168 hours a week. We all have the same amount of time available to us. So the key here is mastering choice management. Comes down to how good and effective are you at your ability of choosing how to manage your time, because you got to hone this in and you got to dial this in. Most people think that they have a shortage of time, but you don't. You got plenty of time. You and I got the same amount of hours in a day and a week, as same as Elon Musk, right? The most successful people are just damn good at how they choose to manage and allocate their time, what they say yes to, what they say no to. Okay, so the next fundamental is self-accountability. There is a myth, there is a lie out there that others are going to hold you accountable. It's utter bullshit. The key is self-accountability. Look, you can go pay some coach. I truly believe that this is a way for quote unquote gurus to go out there and just take $1,000 or $2,000 out of our pocket every single month. I'm going to hold you accountable with a weekly check-in call. Look, nobody's going to be at your bedside telling you to get your ass out of bed. Nobody's going to be looking over your shoulder all day, every day, cracking that whip. Like the key here is, if you want to create success, and you want to, not just create success, but sustain that success and create ongoing continued success, you got to master your ability of being self-accountable. It's one of the hard things about real estate. It's like when you're in the corporate world, there's an accountability structure built in. It's like if you don't show up on time, if you don't perform these, like you got a manager, you got a boss, then we jump into this industry and nobody gives two shits if you get out of bed on time. Nobody gives two shits if you get XYZ. Like, okay, your family might care. Your bank account will care. Right? But nobody else cares. So if you do not learn how to hold yourself accountable to the activities that you need to do, you're going to be in big trouble inside this industry. And I've created a lot of podcasts on how to become self-accountable. It's something that can be solved immediately. You can go check those out. Okay. So the next fundamental that you need to hone in, that you need to dial in, is tracking. Tracking is our most important system inside of our real estate businesses that allows us to create predictability, that allows us to see areas of opportunity. If you do not know the data, if you do not know your numbers, if you are not tracking your numbers, you are never going to create long-lasting success. You're never going to create big success, period. And then you're never going to create long-lasting success. You might get lucky for a year or two. It's not too infrequent. And then I'll jump on one of these free coaching calls that I offer here for all of you guys on the podcast. And somebody will jump on with me and they'll say something like, oh man, 3 years ago, I had the best year of my career, made 300 G's or 400 G's or whatever the number is, got complacent, got comfortable, took my foot off the accelerator. Now I'm out of money. Now I'm in trouble. Now I need to get back to what I made, get back to making 400 grand a year. Okay. Well, yeah, it's easy. Do exactly what you did to make 400 grand. Like, what'd you do then? Just do exactly what you did then. Then I already know what the answer is going to be, but then they come back to me, well, I don't know what I did. Okay. If you want to create predictability, like you got to know again, what activities and how much energy and effort led to that thing. So I want to be tracking, and there's other things that we need to track other than this. Like we got to track our expenses, our revenue, our profit and loss statements, all of that stuff. But on what I call the front end tracking, it's like, okay, I need to track, okay, what exact lead gen activities did I do? How many leads did I generate per source, per activity? How many reach outs, how many conversations, how many appointments set, how many appointment conductions, how many clients, how many closings equates, right? So then I know exactly how many leads to equate to how much closings, how much energy and effort, so I can create predictability. So I know what activities are working, what's not working, and how much of those things I need to do. But this also allows us to see what areas of opportunity that we need inside of our business. So let's just say, as an example, your reach out to conversation rate is like 6% when we know it should be 10% or greater. Okay, well, that's an easy fix. Let's just say that your, conversation to appointment set rate is, it depends. This depends on what your lead source is that you're going after. But let's just say it's a lead source where it's, should be, 50 would be good. Excellent would be, 1 out of 25, appointments set to conversation to appointment set. And let's just say you're 1 out of 75. Okay, cool. We know then there's a lot of area for improvement there. Let's just say your appointment set to conduction rate is 50%. Okay, we know that that should be 75% or greater. That's a very easy, quick fix there. Let's just say your appointment conduction to client taken rate is 50%, which is industry average, and it really should be 90%. Well, then, okay, that's a quick, easy fix, right? But we got to know what area of your business needs improvement. So then we know, like, this whole podcast is about mastering the fundamentals. If you are not tracking, right, we don't know what of the fundamentals that you are lacking, that you need improvement on, that you need to go out there and up your level of mastery on. So tracking not only creates predictability, the only way to create predictability inside of our business, so we're not having to guess, but then also allows us to see the areas of improvement that we need to dial in. So you got to get damn good at tracking, get it dialed in, and master. So mastering tracking isn't just mastering the behavior. It's mastering, how do I interpret this data and how do I make smart strategic decisions off of this data? It's one of the first things that I do with my agents and my coaching clients is getting their tracking system dialed in. Okay, the next fundamental that you must master is your CRM. I do not know any high producer at a very high level that continues to grow and scale in this industry, or really any business, that doesn't have a dialed in and mastered their CRM. So our CRM is just our system that allows us to manage our leads, our clients, our pad. Like if we look at, what does the CRM stand for? Customer Relationship Management System. We're in the human resource, human connection business, right? This just makes sure that we are executing on our processes, our follow-up protocols, our processes in the most effective, efficient way, ensuring things aren't getting missed. Because look, you get to a point where, okay, I've got 7,000 past clients, and that's between me and my team, not just me personally, right? But with that, I can't remember to follow up with all of them. I can't remember all of their names. I can't remember all of their kids' names. I can't, so I have this system set. Like, I get a past client, I just click a button. It reminds me for the next 20 years when I need to follow up with them. I've got all the data, so even though I may not remember those things, by the time I get them on the phone, they have no idea I don't remember those things. So it allows me to keep this stuff on point, right? So within your CRM, now this is going to be, how do you dial this in, right? So you dial it in based on, okay, what is your strategies? What are your client acquisition strategies, along with your sphere of influence and past client strategies, right? Because the system is just where our processes live. A system ensures that our processes are executed on the same way each and every single time to ensure things aren't getting missed. So let's just say, okay, I'm doing open houses. And I'm just using this example, not saying that you got to do open houses, just insert whatever lead source. I'm just using open house as an example here. So let's say I'm doing open house. Okay, well, I'm going to make sure that I've got my CRM dialed in so I can maximize conversions with that. So as soon as I put my open house lead in there, okay, I got my 1,000-day email text drip campaign. That's already set my CRM. I just got to click a button. And then from there, I'm going to set them up on instant property alert. So then boom, now they're getting this 1,000-day email text drip campaign that's following up automatically for the next 1,000 days that I've custom written. So it doesn't look like it's auto-generated, like I've custom wrote every one of those messages. Then from there, they're getting instant property alerts anytime anything comes available that meets their criteria. Then from there, they're getting my Monday motivation message. They're getting my holiday messages. They're getting my monthly video market update report. Then from there, I just click a button and it's tasking and telling me exactly when I need to call them based on how my conversation went with them and based on their timeline. So let's just say, I was talking with them and they're, 1 to 2 years out from looking at making a move, right? So then from there, my CRM is going to automatically task me every 45 days to pick up the phone and call them. So then that way I can continue building that rapport, reconfirming their timeline, reconfirming their goals, and maximize conversions for if and when they're ready. So then my CRM is dialed in and set up where all I got to do, because it's doing everything on there manually or automatically, other than I got to do the calls. But now I just go in there every single day, check my daily task queue, call task queue, and it tells me exactly who I need to call so I don't forget. So dialing in and mastering so when mastering it is how to set it up, how to use it, how to have that all properly. Dial in is making sure that it is set up properly, right? Okay. So then the next fundamental that you need to master is your listing, your presentations. So it's going to be your listing presentation, making sure you got a world-class listing presentation, making sure you got a world-class buyer presentation, or an agent, world-class agent recruiting presentation. So whoever your clientele is, whether it's going for buyers, going for sellers, going for agent recruits, maybe it's a combination of all of those, you need to make sure that you dial this in. Look, real estate is a two-step sales process. All of our lead gen, all of our lead follow-up exists to go out there and set the appointment. Then that appointment exists to go out there and conduct it at a world-class level. So we convert that potential customer into a signed, committed customer. You don't want to put all this energy and effort into all this lead gen and lead follow-up just to get to the conference room table or get to the kitchen table and flop it or just convert half-assed like the rest of the industry does inside this business. Okay, so the next fundamental here is making sure that you've got your sphere of influence and past client strategies dialed in and mastered. This is that true long-term gold inside your real estate business. By the time you're 5 years in this industry, 50% of your business, assuming that you're at a 20% year-over-year growth rate, so which is a good year-over-year growth rate that's sustainable long-term, right? But then, okay, assuming that you're hitting a 20% year-over-year growth rate, well, 50% of your business after year 5 should be coming from past client repeat referral business, right? Like, okay, new business is the most costly, the most time consuming. It's going to take the longest, as you're going to have the most resistance. I got to sit there and do all that lead follow up. And, like depending on what lead source, maybe we're doing Google pay-per-click. Well, I got to, burn through 97 leads to convert 3. If I'm doing open houses, okay, I got to get through, 9 leads to convert 1, at a 10% conversion rate. With past clients, repeat referral business for influence, it's just like, hey, Josh, we're thinking about buying, selling. We come, we're ready to go. Like they're already sold on you. It's the easiest, right? It doesn't cost you anything. And it's the easiest with the least amount of resistance. So that is that future gold that we really need to hone in. Okay, so the next fundamental is the rules, regulations, contracts, right? So like you got to know your, local real estate rules, laws, contracts. We got all this, NAR settlement, proposed all these new NAR changes. So, things that we got to be aware of at the NAR national level. And I'm just not just speaking of the NAR stuff here, but obviously at a local level, like these are all things that you got to know. Like in order for you to serve and support your clients, whether you're buyers or sellers, or dude, like if you're a team leader or broker owner, right? Especially if you're a broker owner, supporting your agents with this stuff and making sure their customers are protected. Like it's just part of the process. It always boggles my mind how many agents have been doing this a long time and they still don't know the purchase contracts. They still don't know how to sit down and go line by line with that purchase contract and explain exactly what every element that means to their client. It blows. I mean, I meet agents in this industry that have been doing this 10 years that still don't know their own contracts inside and out. We are, at least in my state of Arizona, like we don't use attorneys. Like we're kind of acting as attorney. I'm not trying to say that I don't tell anybody I am an attorney. I'm not trying to be attorney, but like we're kind of playing attorneys as real estate professionals, if you will, in a non-attorney state, with this stuff. And again, I'm not trying to be an attorney, pretend I am an attorney. I'm not telling my clientele. Hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say here, but I think it's really important and essential to be a great real estate professional, to be a great realtor, to be able to protect my clients and to serve and support my clients at the highest possible level, to know my contracts, to know my local regulations, rules, laws, to make sure that I'm honed in on those things. Okay. The 10th thing that you must master, the 10th fundamental that you must dial and master is your internal systems and processes. The reason why these are so important is these are going to increase your capacity. They're going to allow you to operate much more effectively, much more efficiently. But then if you want to continue to grow and scale, eventually you're going to need to plug in people. And I don't care how good people are. They're never going to show you their greatness unless they got good systems and processes to plug into. So this is where we want to take everything out of your head, put it onto paper. So we put it into a manual, put it into a process. Then we take those processes, those step-by-step processes, plug them into a system Systems are just where our processes live to ensure that our processes are executed on the same way each and every time, ensure things aren't missed, ensure every customer gets the same experience every single time, nothing slips through the cracks. So for those of you that are at least watching this on YouTube, it's like, okay, like here's my agent internal, this is what we call this, our agent playbook internally inside my real estate business, right? So this is every process that we have, man, like everything that we do, how we do it, so like, I got 50 agents. Let's just say, okay, we're all doing the same exact buyer consultation, the same listing presentation, the same contract to close process, the same listing input process, that like everything is uniform. We ensure that everything is done the same way each and every single time. Everybody's getting the same experience, ensuring things don't get missed, right? This just is going to, again, allow you to operate much more effectively and efficiently and increase you and maximize your capacity. But then when it comes time where you're ready to start scaling, adding people to your team, or you want to start building a brokerage, now we have those world-class processes and systems to plug people into. So now, systems and processes are the key to scale, right? And then fundamental number 11 that you must dial in and master if you want to continue to grow and scale, which at some point is going to require that you create some element of a team or a brokerage, right? Those are the only two ways to eventually continue to grow and scale. At some point, you're going to need what's called leverage. You're going to need people, because otherwise you're always going to have a capacity. And I know not everybody, like maybe you get to a point where you're popping 40, 50 units a year. You're like, hey, life is good. Life is amazing. I'm good here. There's like, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. Everybody's got different goals, dreams, visions. Who the hell am I or anybody else to tell you what success means or should be for you in your life? But if you are somebody like me that like, look, dude, I'm just about growth. I just want to grow this thing as big as I can grow it. Well, eventually then I need to start plugging in people, whether that be an assistant. Like you might be like, well, dude, Josh, I don't want to, build a mega team like you build. I don't want to, build a big company. I just want, an assistant and a couple of, like, it's still people, right? So I look at a team as more than one. You got more than just yourself. The second you hire an assistant, in my book, you are now a team. It's more than one mind, more than one human being working on your business with the collective goal of growing and scaling your business. So then from there, you got to dial in and master your ability to go out there and find and identify and hire the right people at the right time, how to train them, how to onboard them, how to manage them. You've got to master that fundamental. So these are the 11 fundamentals that you must dial in and master to go out there and create a successful real estate business. And I know it's a lot, but you don't need to master all of these all at the same exact time, but knowing these 11 things, again, allows us to stop chasing the shiny, because I'm just telling you right now, there is no shiny pill. There's no magic pill. There's no shiny object. There's no such thing as 6-minute abs. I know everybody wants that easy button. Everybody wants that, immediate, instantaneous results. None of that crap exists. It's all, like, look, you can create success very fast in this business, but it's going to take work, and you got to make sure that you are focusing on the right things, dialing in and mastering the right things at the right times inside your real estate business. And more so than ever today, in the era that we are in, where we're now in this attention economy where everybody's competing for your attention, it's more important than ever before of what to know exactly what to block out, because it's such a noisy world. So my recommendation is to know, understand, dial in, master these 11 things, and block all the other bullshit out. Like it either serves a purpose in your life, in your business, or it is just distraction, is just noise. So I hope that you found this helpful. Again, make sure to check out gsdmode.com for more additional free training and resources, where, again, you can schedule that free coaching call with me where we can do a deep dive in your business. Got my 3-hour in-depth masterclass on 6 steps to 3Xing your real estate business in the next 12 months. You can also learn more about my coaching program. You can schedule a 100% zero pressure, fully confidential call about partnering with me at EXP and seeing how I can support and help you crush your real estate business, and we can crush it together here at EXP. The reason I recently made the move to EXP is I wanted to be able to take my real estate business national and global. So I'm looking for amazing, badass partners from all over North America. I'm open to, other countries outside of North America too. At least it's, worth a call, and just seeing what we can build and do together. I've just found that we can do a whole lot more together than we can alone. So if that's something that you want to schedule and we can jump on a Zoom call together, that's at gsdmode.com as well. All right, guys, keep crushing it. Keep up the amazing work, and I will see you next time. Peace.